That beautiful piece of salmon sitting on your plate right now, glistening, pink, perfectly seared with a little golden crust on top. Maybe a squeeze of lemon. Maybe a side of steamed broccoli and brown rice. You can smell it, can't you, folks? That rich, buttery omega-3 goodness. Your doctor told you to eat more fish. The American Heart Association said salmon twice a week. Every magazine, every health show, every nutritionist on the planet has been telling you the same thing for 20 years. Salmon is the king of healthy food. But what if I told you that beautiful piece of salmon, eaten the wrong way, is silently turning your kidneys into calcium-crusted pipes? What if that fish you trusted with your life is quietly choking the very organs keeping you alive? Folks, I wish I were making this up. 3 weeks ago, a patient was rushed into my emergency room at 2:30 in the morning. I'll call him James Thompson, 66 years old, retired postal worker from outside of Phoenix, Arizona, 38 years delivering mail in the desert heat, never missed a day of work, never called in sick. The kind of man who believed he could handle anything. His wife was right behind the gurney, clutching her phone, tears streaming down her face. She grabbed my arm so hard, her knuckles turned white and said, "Doctor, please." He was fine at dinner. He was eating his salmon. He always eats his salmon. He does everything right. James was gray. His skin had this ashy, lifeless color I've seen too many times. His blood pressure was through the roof. His ankles were swollen so badly his socks had left deep purple grooves in his skin. And when the lab results came back, his phosphorus levels were dangerously high. His kidney function had dropped to 22%. 22%, folks. That means nearly 80% of his kidneys were already destroyed. And he had no idea, not a single symptom until that night. The cause? The very same salmon dinner that millions of Americans are eating tonight, prepared in a way that turned a healthy food into a slow-acting poison. Names and details have been changed for patient privacy. But the medical reality? That's 100% real. My name is Dr. Mitchell. I'm a board-certified nephrologist. I've spent 25 years at a major teaching hospital, in the ER at 3 in the morning, in the dialysis unit watching people lose their independence one session at a time, in the ICU fighting to save kidneys that could have been saved with one simple change at the dinner table. I'm not a health influencer. I'm not selling you supplements. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I'm a kidney specialist who has spent a quarter century watching patients arrive too late. And I'm tired of it. Now, folks, I want to be clear about something before we go any further. I'm sharing what I've learned from 25 years of clinical practice, but every person is different. Your kidney function, your medications, your individual health situation, they all matter. Please talk to your doctor about what's right for you. That said, what I'm about to tell you today could change the next 20 years of your life. I'm staking my 25-year medical career on what I'm about to share with you, even if it makes some people angry. Even if it goes against what you've heard from your cardiologist, even if the salmon industry doesn't like it, I don't care, because your kidneys matter more than anyone's feelings. In this video, friends, I'm going to show you 3 dangerous ways Americans are eating salmon that are silently destroying their kidneys. 3 combinations that seem perfectly healthy on the surface, but are waging war on your organs from the inside. And then, I'm going to show you the right way to eat salmon, so you can keep all those incredible omega-3 benefits without sacrificing your kidney function. 3 dangers, 3 solutions, all free, all simple, all things you can change tonight. Now here's my first ask, folks. If you care about your kidneys, if you care about staying independent, if you want to be around for your grandkids' graduations and your granddaughter's wedding, hit that like button right now. That's not for me. That's your first promise to yourself, your first step toward protecting your kidneys for the next 20 years. Go ahead. I'll wait. Good. Now let's talk about why the fish that's supposed to save your life might be slowly ending it. Here's the thing folks need to understand about salmon. Yes, It's loaded with omega-3 fatty acids. Yes, it fights inflammation. Yes, it's good for your heart. Nobody is arguing with that. But here's what your cardiologist doesn't have time to explain in a 7-minute appointment. Salmon is also one of the highest phosphorus foods you can put in your body. And phosphorus, friends, phosphorus is the silent assassin your kidneys have been fighting every single day of your life. When you're young and your kidneys are running at full power, they flush out excess phosphorus like a brand new kitchen faucet handles water. No problem. But after 55, after 60, after 65, your kidneys aren't brand new anymore. They're that old faucet that's been running for 6 decades. The filter screens are clogged, the pipes are narrowing, and when you pour a flood of phosphorus through a system that can barely handle a trickle, that's when the damage starts, silently, invisibly, without a single warning sign. Ready for this? Because this next part changes everything. Let me introduce you to danger number 1, and this one is going to hit close to home for a lot of you. I'll call her Linda Garcia. 63 years old, retired school nurse from San Antonio, Texas, the sweetest woman you'd ever meet. She had 3 grandchildren, coached their soccer team on weekends, and every single Friday night, every single one, she made the same dinner for her family. Baked salmon with a creamy lemon dill sauce. Parmesan cheese sprinkled on top. A side of roasted sweet potatoes. And a big glass of milk. She'd been making this meal for 11 years. 11 years, folks. Her husband loved it. Her kids loved it. She called it her Heart-Healthy Friday. She'd read about the Mediterranean diet. She'd heard salmon and dairy were both good for bones, so she combined them every single week for over a decade. Then one morning, Linda woke up and couldn't get her rings off. Her fingers were so swollen they looked like little sausages. She thought it was the heat. A week later, her shoes didn't fit. Her ankles had puffed up overnight. She thought maybe she was on her feet too much at soccer practice. Then the itching started. Not regular itching, friends. Deep, maddening, under-the-skin itching that no cream could reach. The kind that wakes you up at 3 in the morning clawing at your own arms. Her daughter finally dragged her to the doctor. And when the blood work came back, Linda's phosphorus was sky high. Her GFR, that's the number that tells you how well your kidneys are filtering, had dropped to 31, stage 3 chronic kidney disease, in a woman who thought she was doing everything perfectly. Now here's the question. What went wrong? It wasn't the salmon alone, and it wasn't the dairy alone. It was the combination. And this, folks, this is what I need you to burn into your memory right now. Salmon is loaded with phosphorus. A single 6-ounce fillet contains roughly 450 milligrams of phosphorus. That's already a significant amount for aging kidneys to process. Now, add a creamy sauce made with butter, cream, and Parmesan cheese. That adds another 300 milligrams of phosphorus. Then, add a glass of milk. Another 250 milligrams. In one single meal, Linda was flooding her body with close to 1,000 milligrams of phosphorus. And her kidneys, those 63-year-old kidneys that were already slowing down, couldn't keep up. Week after week after week, for 11 years. The phosphorus her kidneys couldn't flush out didn't just disappear, friends. It went looking for a place to settle. And it found one, her blood vessels, her arteries, her heart. I want you to picture this. Imagine your blood vessels are flexible garden hoses, soft, bendable, smooth on the inside. Now imagine pouring liquid calcium and phosphorus through those hoses year after year. Slowly, layer by layer, those flexible hoses start hardening. They become stiff, brittle, like PVC pipes. That's called vascular calcification, and it is one of the leading causes of death in kidney patients in America, not the kidney failure itself. The calcified blood vessels that come with it. Linda's flexible arteries were turning into concrete pipes, And she had no idea because her kidneys never sent her a single pain signal. They never complained. They just quietly failed. How many of you right now eat salmon with some kind of cheese or cream sauce? Be honest with yourself. Parmesan crusted salmon, salmon with Alfredo, salmon with a dill cream sauce, salmon with a side of cottage cheese. If that's you, if that sounds like your dinner, I need you to type kidney first in the comments right now. Just those 2 words. Here's why. When you see information, hear it, and then write it with your own hands, your brain locks it in. It's called active encoding, and it works. This isn't just a comment, friends. This is a promise to yourself that you will protect your kidneys, that you will stay independent, that your family will never have to take shifts at your hospital bed. Type it now. Kidney first. Done? Good. Now think about someone you love who eats salmon with dairy. Your spouse, your parents, your best friend. You now know something they don't. One text message, just forwarding this video to your family group chat, could save their kidneys. Do it right now, folks, before their next salmon dinner. That's not sharing a video. That's an act of love. But friends, if what I just told you about salmon and dairy was a slow poison, then what I'm about to reveal about danger number 2 is an ambush. It strikes without warning, and it can push kidneys that are already struggling right over the edge. I'll call him Walter. Walter Jackson, 71 years old, retired firefighter from Columbus, Ohio, 32 years running into burning buildings. The kind of man who never went to the doctor because, in his words, if I can survive a 4-alarm fire, I can survive anything. Walter's wife had been after him for years to eat healthier, so he made a deal with her. Yeah, every Tuesday and Thursday, salmon for dinner. No argument. His favorite way? Teriyaki salmon, sweet, salty, sticky glaze, with a big bowl of white rice and some steamed edamame on the side. Healthy, right? Fish, vegetables, whole grains. Walter was proud of himself. He'd tell his buddies at the VFW hall, I eat salmon twice a week. I'm healthier than all of you. Then, one Thursday evening, Walter stood up from the dinner table and the room started spinning. Not a little dizzy, folks. The kind of spinning where the floor tilts and the walls blur and your body just gives out. He grabbed the edge of the table, missed, went down hard. His wife heard the crash of dishes and came running. Walter was on the floor, conscious but confused, drenched in cold sweat. At the hospital, his blood pressure was 220/110. His creatinine, that's the waste product your kidneys are supposed to filter out, was at 4.8. Normal is around 1. Walter's kidneys were drowning, and the culprit, friends, was hiding in plain sight, in that sweet, delicious teriyaki glaze. Now, some of you are thinking, it's just soy sauce. How bad can it be? Let me tell you how bad. A single tablespoon of soy sauce contains approximately 900 milligrams of sodium. Most teriyaki sauces add brown sugar, which does nothing to reduce the sodium and adds unnecessary processing load. A typical teriyaki salmon dinner contains over 2,000 milligrams of sodium in the sauce alone. That's nearly an entire day's worth of sodium in one meal. And here's the part that should scare you. When you combine high sodium with high phosphorus, and salmon already has that high phosphorus, your kidneys face a double assault. The sodium forces your kidneys to work overtime, filtering it out. While they're struggling with that, the phosphorus backs up in your blood like traffic on a highway when there's an accident ahead. Nothing moves, everything piles up, and your blood vessels start calcifying, your bones start weakening because your body pulls calcium from your bones to try to balance the phosphorus. Your heart starts straining under the pressure. Think of it this way, friends. Your kidneys are like 2 workers on an assembly line. After 60 years on the job, they're tired, they're slower, but they can still handle a normal workload. Now imagine dumping double the work on them. Sodium coming from one direction, and phosphorus from the other. At the same time, Those tired workers don't speed up. They break down, they collapse, and when your kidney assembly line shuts down, there's no replacement shift coming. Do you know what dialysis costs in America? $90,000 a year. That's your retirement savings, friends. That's your grandkids' college fund. That's your vacation with your wife. That's your independence gone. 3 times a week, 4 hours each session, hooked up to a machine that does what your kidneys used to do for free. Medicare covers some of it, but the co-pays, the transportation, the medications, the loss of freedom, it adds up to financial ruin. Walter didn't know any of this. He just liked teriyaki salmon. How many of you cook your salmon with soy sauce? With teriyaki? With any kind of bottled Asian-style sauce? How about marinades from a jar? Glazes? Even that low-sodium soy sauce still has 500 milligrams per tablespoon. Be honest with yourselves right now. Are you doing this? If anyone watching this thinks they can't give up that sweet, sticky teriyaki glaze, if it's just too good to stop, then honestly, you can close this video right now. Go ahead. But if you love your kidneys more than you love a sauce, stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you next makes teriyaki look like child's play. Now here's where I need you to really listen, friends. Really listen, because danger number 3 is the one that keeps me up at night. It's the one I see most often in my practice, and it's the most dangerous because it seems like the most responsible thing you could possibly do. Think you're safe now, folks. Think avoiding cream sauce and teriyaki is enough? Think if you just eat plain salmon, grilled, nothing on it, you're in the clear? Not even close. I'll call her Margaret. Margaret Chen, 68 years old, retired pharmacist from Portland, Oregon. Margaret was the healthiest person in her family. She walked 3 miles every morning. She didn't smoke. She barely drank. And she ate salmon almost every single day, not twice a week, every single day. Sometimes baked, sometimes grilled, sometimes in a salad. She'd read that the Japanese live longer than anyone, and they eat fish constantly. So Margaret decided she would too. For 4 straight years, salmon was the centerpiece of her diet. Margaret came to see me because her annual blood work showed something strange. Her phosphorus was elevated, not dangerously, just elevated. Her doctor said, "Keep an eye on it." 6 months later, it was higher. A year after that, her GFR started dropping, slowly, steadily, like a clock ticking backward. By the time she sat in my office, Margaret's kidney function was at 38%. She'd lost over 60% of her kidney function, and she looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, "Doctor, I did everything right. I ate clean. I exercised. I chose salmon because it was supposed to be the healthiest thing I could eat." How is this possible? Friends, that question. How is this possible? I've heard it hundreds of times, and the answer is always the same. The problem isn't salmon. The problem is frequency. Here's what nobody tells you. Every time you eat salmon, your kidneys have to process a significant load of phosphorus. When you're young, they recover quickly. Process it, flush it, done. But after 55, after 60, your kidneys need time between phosphorus loads to recover. They need a break. Eating salmon every single day is like asking a 68-year-old marathon runner to run a marathon every single day. No rest days, no recovery. Just go, go, go until your legs give out. Except it's not your legs, it's your kidneys. And your kidneys don't give you a cramp or a pulled muscle as a warning. They just stop. Margaret was doing the equivalent of running a marathon every day for 4 years. Her kidneys never got a rest day. The phosphorus built up, layer by layer, day by day. Her blood vessels started hardening. Calcium deposits formed in places they should never be. Her bones got weaker because her body was desperately trying to keep the calcium-phosphorus balance by stealing from her skeleton, all because she ate salmon every day instead of spacing it out. A bone scan showed early osteoporosis at 68 in a woman who walked 3 miles every morning and took her calcium supplements religiously. The calcium wasn't staying in her bones, folks. It was being pulled into her blood to bind with all that excess phosphorus. And then the whole mess was depositing in her arteries, hardening them, narrowing them, choking them. Let me paint this picture for you, friends, because I need you to understand what this looks like inside your body. Imagine pouring a thin layer of wet cement inside a garden hose, just a little bit. Then tomorrow, another layer, and the next day, another. After 4 years, that garden hose doesn't bend anymore. It's rigid, thick on the inside. The opening that water flows through gets smaller and smaller and smaller until one day, nothing gets through. That's your blood vessels on chronic phosphorus overload. That's what happens when you eat salmon every single day for years without giving your kidneys a chance to breathe. Margaret's heart was at risk, not from cholesterol, not from saturated fat, from the salmon she was eating to prevent heart disease. I wish I were making this up. Right now, as we speak, there is someone watching this video who eats salmon 4, 5, 6 times a week. Maybe every day. You know who you are. And right now, inside your body, the same process that almost destroyed Margaret's kidneys and her bones and her blood vessels is happening to you, silently, without a single warning sign. How many of you eat salmon more than 3 times a week? If that's you, I need you to type yes in the comments below. I need to know your situation to give you the right guidance. Don't be embarrassed. You're not alone. I see this pattern in my clinic every single week. You are among thousands of Americans who were told to eat more salmon and took that advice to heart, maybe a little too much to heart. Now, friends, I want you to think about this. If your parents are over 60, if your spouse has been eating salmon religiously because they think it's protecting them, share this video with them today. Text it to them right now. Don't wait until after their next salmon dinner. This is the conversation a good doctor would have with them, if they had 7 minutes. But they don't. The system doesn't give them time. So let me have that conversation for you. No fight, no hurt feelings. Just the truth from a doctor who's seen what happens when nobody speaks up. I know. Right now, some of you want to run to the kitchen and throw that salmon in the trash. I know that feeling. I get it. You feel betrayed. You feel angry. You did everything the magazines told you. You followed the guidelines. And now some kidney doctor on the internet is telling you it was wrong. But don't throw it away. Please don't do that. The reason I've been so intense, so scary, isn't because salmon is bad. Salmon is extraordinary. Those omega-3 fatty acids fight inflammation in ways that very few foods can match. Salmon can absolutely be part of a kidney-healthy diet. The problem was never the salmon itself. The problem is the way we've been eating it. The combinations, the frequency, the preparation, and friends, I'm about to show you the right way, the way that keeps all the incredible benefits of salmon while protecting your kidneys for the next 20 years. From this point forward, we leave fear behind. It's time for hope. Take a deep breath, folks. You can exhale now. There is a way through this. And it's simpler than you think. Remember Margaret, the retired pharmacist from Portland who ate salmon every single day? She sat in my office, devastated. She thought her life was over. She thought she'd end up on dialysis. She thought she'd become a burden to her daughter across the country. But Margaret listened. She was willing to change, not her whole life, not her entire diet, just 3 small things, 3 free, simple adjustments that anyone can make tonight. And what happened next still brings a tear to my eye when I think about it. But before I tell you Margaret's recovery story, let me give you the 3 steps, because this is what you've been waiting for. Step 1. Remove the phosphorus partners. If you eat salmon, do not pair it with high phosphorus sides in the same meal. That means no dairy sauces, no Parmesan crust, no cream-based anything, no cheese, no glass of milk alongside your fish, no edamame, which is surprisingly high in phosphorus. Replace those with low-phosphorus vegetables, green beans, cauliflower, cabbage, bell peppers, cucumber salad with a splash of vinegar. These are your kidney's best friends, and they cost almost nothing. Step 2. Replace the sodium bombs. Throw out the bottled teriyaki. Throw out the soy sauce marinades. Instead, season your salmon with fresh lemon juice, a tiny pinch of salt, less than a quarter teaspoon, fresh dill, garlic, black pepper, and a drizzle of olive oil. That's it. That's your new marinade. Free if you already have these in your kitchen. Costs pennies if you don't. And it drops the sodium from 2,000 milligrams down to under 200. Your kidneys will be able to process that without breaking a sweat. Step 3. Restore the rhythm. This is the most important one, friends. Listen carefully. Limit salmon to 2 times per week. Not every day. Not 4 times a week. 2 times. With at least 2 days of rest between each salmon meal. On your non-salmon days, rotate with lower phosphorus proteins. Chicken breast. Egg whites. A small portion of white fish like cod or tilapia. This gives your kidneys the recovery time they desperately need between phosphorus loads. Think of it like exercise. You don't run a marathon every day. You run, then you rest, then you run again. Your kidneys work the same way. Talk to your doctor about what's right for you specifically, especially if you're already taking phosphorus binders or have been told your kidney numbers are off. These 3 steps are general guidance from my clinical experience, but your situation may need a personalized approach. Now, Margaret's story. Margaret made exactly these 3 changes. She cut dairy from her salmon meals. She stopped using bottle sauces and switched to lemon, dill, and olive oil. And she went from salmon every day to salmon twice a week, with chicken and egg whites on the other days. 2 weeks later, Margaret told me the puffiness around her eyes every morning was gone. Just gone. She'd had it for so long she forgot what her face looked like without it. 1 month later, the deep itching that had been driving her insane, the kind that woke her up at night, stopped completely. She told me she slept through the night for the first time in over a year. 3 months later, we ran her blood work again. Friends, her phosphorus levels had dropped back to the normal range. Her GFR had climbed from 38 to 47. That's 9 points of kidney function recovered. Her nephrologist at her local clinic called me and said, "What did you do? I've never seen numbers improve this fast." 6 months later, Margaret walked into my office, squeezed my hand, and said something I'll never forget. She said, "Doc, I thought you were going to tell me my life was over. Instead, you gave it back to me. I climbed Mount Tabor last weekend with my granddaughter. We made it to the top." A 68-year-old woman with stage 3 kidney disease, hiking with her granddaughter. Not because of an expensive drug, not because of surgery, because she changed how she ate salmon. That, friends, is what's possible when you have the right information. Now, I want to remind you of something. You don't need a prescription to do what Margaret did. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need to join a program or buy a book. You need 3 minutes in your kitchen tonight. Open your fridge. Look at what you're planning to serve with your salmon this week. Check the sauce bottles. Read the sodium content. And make the 3 changes I just showed you. Remove. Replace. Restore. That's your new salmon strategy. And while you're at it, friends, take off your sock right now. Seriously, take off your sock and press your thumb into the skin just above your ankle bone. Press firmly for about 5 seconds, then let go. If the dent stays, if you can see the impression of your thumb lingering there for more than a few seconds, that could be a sign of fluid retention. That could be your kidneys asking for help. Don't panic, but do mention it to your doctor at your next visit. It's a simple check that takes 10 seconds and could catch a problem years before it becomes a crisis. Hit subscribe right now, friends. Think of it as enrolling in the best health plan you'll ever have. No premiums, no deductibles, no copays, just a doctor who actually has time for you. Every video I make is another appointment, another chance to catch something before it's too late. Most doctors get 7 minutes with you. I'm giving you 38 minutes right now, and I'll be back with more. That's a promise. So let's pull it all together, friends. Today, we uncovered the two faces of salmon, the hero and the villain living inside the same fish. Here are your 3 takeaways. Burn these into your memory. Number 1. Salmon plus dairy is a phosphorus bomb. Never pair salmon with cream sauces, cheese, or a glass of milk in the same meal. Your kidneys can't handle the double phosphorus load. Number 2. Bottled sauces and marinades are sodium grenades. Teriyaki, soy sauce, and store-bought glazes can contain an entire day's worth of sodium in a single serving. Replace them with lemon, herbs, and olive oil. Number 3. Frequency is everything. 2 times a week with rest days in between. Never every day. Your kidneys need recovery time, just like your muscles do. Right now, as we speak, someone in America is sitting down to a salmon dinner with cream sauce and teriyaki glaze. Someone who doesn't know what you now know. Someone whose kidneys are silently calcifying, hardening, shutting down, and they have no idea. They think they're eating the healthiest meal possible, but not you, because now you know. You have the information, you have the power, you have the 3 steps, and you can start tonight. Type kidney first in the comments right now, friends. Those 2 words carry more healing power than any supplement on the shelf. That's not just a comment. That's your oath. Your commitment to your kidneys, to your independence, to your family. Hit that like button. Lock in your promise. Every like tells the algorithm to show this video to someone else who needs to hear it. Someone whose kidneys are in danger right now and they don't even know it. Your like could save a stranger's life tonight. Hit subscribe. Think of it as your enrollment with your lifelong kidney doctor. I don't charge, I don't sell. I just show up every single video with the truth your doctor doesn't have time to tell you. And now, friends, the most important thing I'll ask you to do today. More important than the like, more important than the subscribe. Send this video to your family group chat. Right now, to your spouse, to your parents, to your brother and sister, to your best friend who grills salmon every weekend, to your church group, your golf buddies, your pickleball friends, your walking group, your book club. Let this be the text message that changes someone's life. Because here's the hard truth. If you know this information and someone you love is eating salmon with cream sauce 3 times a week, and you say, nothing, could you live with that if something happened to them? Good information should travel, folks. Share it. Build a health tribe. One more thing before I let you go. That supplement your doctor recommended. The one millions of Americans over 55 take with breakfast every single morning. The one you probably took this very morning. In my next video, I'm going to show you what it's really doing to your kidneys. And friends, you're going to want to sit down for that one. It shook me when I first saw the data, and I've been doing this for 25 years. But right now, I want to leave you with something warm, something real. I don't want to see you in a dialysis center, friends. I don't want to see your family taking shifts at your hospital bed. I don't want to see your retirement savings disappear into medical bills. I want to see you at the park, walking in the sunshine with your favorite people. I want to see you at your grandson's Little League game, cheering so loud the other parents turn around and smile. I want to see you dancing at your granddaughter's wedding, not in a wheelchair, not from a hospital bed on a video call, right there on the dance floor, holding her hands, spinning her around. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for every person watching this right now. Your kidneys are the silent organ. They lose 70% of their function before sending a single warning sign. But now you know. Now you're listening. And that changes everything. Your health is the greatest gift you'll ever give your family. Staying healthy means never becoming a burden. And that's worth more than any inheritance you could ever leave behind. Your kitchen is either saving you or killing you. Every meal is a fork in the road between independence and a dialysis chair. Tonight, choose the right fork. Stay strong, folks. Take care of your kidneys, and they will take care of you. I'm Dr. Mitchell, your lifelong kidney doctor. I'll see you in the next one.